So another reason that DEI and wokeness has to go, coming right on. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense Logic and Reason. And as always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. So I recently saw a short documentary film, or if you want to call it a documentary, on YouTube about a new data communication system that China's developed that they call Neuralink. Now, this is supposed to be their replacement for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. And they basically developed this because of the sanctions that were placed upon them by Donald Trump, which I agree with those sanctions and those tariffs, because China resorts to unethical and illegal practices. I mean, they literally have no shame when it comes down to taking and copying things. If you want to build and manufacture or produce something, since China's been made basically the manufacturing hub of the world, I mean, essentially, you have to go there to get things made and manufactured. Unfortunately, if you do this, you have to give up all your IP, your intellectual property, and your patents and all the things to them, to the Chinese. You have to partner with Chinese companies who then take your basically patent and your product and remake it in a cheaper version and undercut you, and then you out of business. Because they don't have to basically pay for the research and development that you put in there. Sometimes could be millions that you put into that product. And then now you're out of business, and they took your product and they're selling it globally. And they've been doing this for years. Donald Trump has just been the first person to say, nah, we got to address this. Okay? So I don't have a problem with what Trump is doing with China. But this supposedly Neuralink, they say that the Neuralink is vastly superior to Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Of course, we know that Bluetooth and Wi-Fi has always been improved. It's not like we have the same Bluetooth and Wi-Fi that we basically started with. But this remains to be seen. You know, anytime you hear these claims from communist countries, and yes, China is still a communist country, even though they've employed capitalism to try to basically be an empire, but it's still a communist country. But they always make these outlandish claims, exaggerating their tech capabilities, especially when it comes down to their military equipment. But I will say that developing the data communication method is not the same as developing a fighter jet. But this remains to be seen. But the issue here, though, is that China is said to be 10 years behind us technology, but they're catching up. And the reason why they're catching up to us is because basically they're all going in the same direction. They're going in one direction. And if you look at the president, Xi Jinping, he's been the president of China since 2013. And we've had, like 3 administrations since then. Of course, that's our rule. And we have also Trump will be sworn in, next year. Can't come soon enough, but that's obviously part of our Constitution of not having one person in power for too long. But again, the drawback of this is that we'll have a person who get in office and who put in policy that's beneficial to Americans, and then what Trump did, and then he'll be out of office, and then we get these woke left in there. And they'll completely overturn all that and then go back with the stupid policy that we see that basically that doesn't build or produce anything, that actually destroys states. Just look at California. California is a perfect example of what DEI and wokeness do to any system, because it's a level of stupidity. And we are a divided country in America. We have this woke left versus the conservative right. The problem with wokeism, as I said, it's not real progress. It's about feeling good over being good. Okay, it's about we want to operate based off of feeling good and looking good, but we really don't care about if we're improving and bettering ourselves. Yeah, we're concerned about the people who would for the person look like, but we're not necessarily concerned about their capabilities. Do we want the best or do we want the appearance? And that mentality is the reason why China is catching up with us. And if we keep on with this insanity, they're going to surpass us. That's why I say that I was so glad, that now in hindsight that Biden won, or supposedly allegedly won, and we had 4 years of this administration. I think because of this, we may see conservative patriots in office in America for the next 20 years possibly, and America is going to mightily greatly benefit from this economically, because we're going to have people in office advocating for what's best for us, and not about making us feel good and telling us what's going to make us feel good. Anyway, like I said, this is the reason why this woke nonsense has got to go, because it doesn't build or produce. It creates problems. Once again, if anybody say you're wrong, well, look at California. California tells you everything that you need to know about wokeness and DEI and leftist nonsense and propaganda. So it just has to go. And like I said, I saw that the Trump election as American people saying enough. We've had enough of this insanity. Anyway, y'all, here's looking to the future, and I believe that America is going to basically come out of this better than we were, with real conservative in the White House, real conservative patriots who advocating on what's the best interest for America. Anyway, y'all, as always, until next time.